Hey, I was talking to a friend today who's going to move to the States, come back on an acting visa, and we were talking about how, one, I know a lot about the entertainment industry, and two, it's cool to have a presence on YouTube. So I started this blog of my life and career, like 4.5 years ago. And my career hasn't really gone much farther. I mean, I've been pursuing acting for like 8, 9 years, and it's pretty tough. But now that I'm on kind of at a point in my life, being at a certain age, that I may do something else, which is totally fine. I'm doing a lot of comedy. I figure I want to tell everyone all these things I've learned because I've taken my Asian mentality and worked really hard to kind of figure out how the industry works, and maybe it didn't work out for me, but hopefully it will help save some of you sometime. And I can get a job as a career consultant. I don't know, it's really hard to get a job as a career consultant. People only need it like once every 6 months. So the first thing I'm gonna try to continue this as much as I can. The first thing I want to talk about is where to move in LA. Most people don't know where to move to LA. They look up blogs and stuff. Here are the places at this point in 2015. If you're only coming with a few $1,000, try to come with like $10,000 so you can like survive for a bit. If not, if you're one of those hustling people who can just like, find any job real quick and make it work, good for you. But try to come with a job. Try to come with a car, a reliable car, so you don't have to buy it out here. The taxes will probably be a little bit higher out here. Is the places you should move. The Valley. The Valley is a place that's just directly north of LA. It's still very near to LA. It just gets like a weird... Basically because that movie Clueless talked about the Valley and how it was crappy. It's not that bad. It's suburban. It's a little bit hotter for some reason. I don't know. I think it's more in the desert. I don't know anything about geology, but it's hotter. It's directly north of LA. It's not known as a cool place, but literally it's like 10-15 minute drive. And when you live in LA, everything takes an hour to get to anywhere. Clueless said it takes 20 minutes, maybe without traffic. 30 minutes without traffic. It takes an hour to get anywhere in LA. If you're going there and like the overtime, I'm kind of sick. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm starting this vlog. I'm not going to get any jobs from this. But, okay. The Valley. The best place in the Valley is Sherman Oaks. Sherman Oaks and North Hollywood. One day I'll figure out how to put little bloops. But look, North Hollywood, Sherman Oaks. Van Nuys is okay. Valley Village is pretty good. Toluca Lake is actually really good. But the cheapest places is North Hollywood, and Sherman Oaks. Cool thing about North Hollywood, it's near a lot of dance studios. It's really close to Hollywood, thus being called North Hollywood. It's near some comedy clubs, and it's a lot of young actor types that live in that area. Sherman Oaks, it's a little bit more suburban. You kind of get more like yuppie actors living there. The apartment's a little bit nicer. There's no like ghetto areas really, or Sherman Oaks, North Hollywood. I'm sorry to use that term. I know it's kind of racist, but it's just use terms that we can easily recognize. I'm sorry, it's racist. North Hollywood can get a little, like North Hollywood can get ghetto. It's just more like immigrant, and that's fucked up to say, but LA people are fucked up. Other places, Culver City is a pretty good area. It's cheaper, like West LA-ish. It's still kind of expensive, but Culver City is a good alternative to living in the middle of Hollywood, which sucks. Parking's awful. There's like barely anything to do, like unless you want to go to the clubs every night, which clubs aren't that great. After you live in LA for a year, you kind of don't care about clubs anymore. East Hollywood is more dirty, more kind of immigrants, kind of ghetto, not really, but it's just like it doesn't feel great to live in East Hollywood, but it's a cheaper area, and a lot of young people do live there amongst like immigrants. I'm talking about all immigrant types, you know what I mean? Not one specific race. I don't think I'm like racist or anything, but yeah, this is getting long. Sorry, I should have made this quicker. Maybe I'll just redo it. I just gave you like 3 places. Glendale is cheap. Burbank is cheap. They're all fairly nearby. Glendale and Burbank are kind of like in the east-north, so it sucks if you have a lot of things to do on the west side. Notice I'm not talking about any of the west side. They call the west side basically areas that are west of this freeway that runs down kind of the west side of LA, called the 405 freeway, which is known as the Hell Freeway because it's the worst traffic at all times. Everything west of that is called the west side, which brings you to West LA, Santa Monica, and Venice. People would love to live in Santa Monica and Venice, but it's pretty expensive. It's like 1.5 times to 2 times the normal rate. A 1-bedroom apartment in Santa Monica and Venice probably averages like $1,500 to $2,000. You'd be lucky if you find one for like $1,200. My friend found one for $900, but you know, those are like one in 1,000 type deals. The problem is if you're an actor or an artistic type, like working production and you live on the west side, everything, all filming and auditions, most of it happens in Hollywood or like in Burbank, or it happens in the east side or mid-city, which is like Wilshire and La Brea. So yeah, don't live there. I know you want to live near the beach. Unless you go to the beach every single day, I wouldn't live on the west side because you're facing 2 hours of commute each way every day, no matter where you work. And if you're auditioning several times a day and taking classes, you're going to hate your life. So don't live on the west side unless you're just going to do it temporarily for a year. I lived on the west side for 4 years. It was great. I loved it, but like any time I had like to have an appointment or audition in Hollywood, I was just like, oh, traffic. What else? I just gave you, most people who move to LA, they live in, they move to K-Town, or they move into the middle of Hollywood. K-Town because it's cheaper. K-Town's gross. There's a lot of roaches. There's some nice apartments. I mean, I love the Korean food. But no one I know who's lived in LA for over 2-3 years lives in K-Town anymore. Unless they manage to rent a house there, which is a pretty big deal. K-Town is very central though, so if you have to move there, go ahead and move there. You're probably going to get a few parking tickets. You're going to probably hate living there for a bit. You might have roaches. Kind of a dangerous area too, but you know, I have friends who got mugged on the west side in like the rich, affluent areas, you know, near Santa Monica, so you can get mugged anywhere. I don't know if any of this helped. I'm just going to post this anyways.